The United Arab Emirates is a futuristic and technologically advanced oasis in the desert where the most fantastic projects are being implemented. For instance, when they realized the need for more coastline and beaches, they constructed incredible archipelagos and palm islands. Financial constraints are virtually non-existent here, and all engineering, design, and construction problems are solved effortlessly. However, until 2016, there wasn't a single railway track in the country. Why did the Emirates hesitate to build a railroad in the desert? What challenges arose when the hour of railway construction came, and how were they resolved? Today, we will tell you about the creation of one of the most ambitious mega projects in the world. Why did it cost the state a record-breaking $50 billion? And what were the results? Let's get started. The United Arab Emirates is a young Islamic state in the Middle East with a stable and successful economic system. For 50 years of its existence, the UAE has demonstrated to the world how to create a favorable oasis out of the desert sands. The largest shopping and entertainment center, Dubai Mall, is located in the Emirates. The largest theme park, Ferrari World, towering in the clouds. The megacity's tallest building, Burj Khalifa, and many other unique landmarks. Tourists come here to relax, be amazed, and be impressed. The primary mode of transportation for travelers is airplanes, regularly arriving at the giant local airports. Additionally, the Emirates have maritime, passenger, and cruise ports for traveling within the country. An automated ground metro system has been built in Dubai. The rest of the personal and public transportation across the 7 Emirates is predominantly represented by buses, taxis, and private cars. Ground, air, and maritime transport efficiently handle passenger transportation. However, for freight transportation, there is a strong need for a railway network, which in the country is still represented only by the first line of the national railway under construction. This line is used so far only for shipping granulated sulfur from the Shahab gas fields to the seaport for further export. The second phase of the project is currently underway. Why does one of the richest and most prosperous countries in the world still lack a comprehensive railway network? The history of the United Arab Emirates Railway began in early 2000 when the question arose of finding a safer and more cost-effective way to transport granulated sulfur from natural gas purification. In 2004, the Cooperation Council for the Arab States of the Gulf initiated the development of the technical and economic feasibility for constructing a railway network that would cover the entire region. This network would allow to receive and transport ready granulated sulfur on site, instead of delivering a chemically active explosive liquid substance through pipelines or in tank trucks. In 2009, work on the project begins, leading to the establishment of the Etihad Rail Company with a registered capital of $273 million. The government of the country invested 70% of the funds, while the remaining 30% was contributed by the Emirate of Abu Dhabi. In 2013, forward-thinking Arabs established a joint venture called Etihad Rail DB, which included the national railway operator of the Emirates, Etihad Rail, and the German company Deutsche Bahn. The Germans, with extensive experience in logistics and building railroads in specific natural conditions, such as deserts, were given 49% of the shares. The tasks of Etihad Rail DB include designing and constructing railway infrastructure, as well as organizing freight and passenger transportation. After careful examination of the UAE's main problem, sand drifts, the company decided not to fight against this natural phenomenon, but to adapt to it and find ways to adjust the track infrastructure to the complex realities of the region. They also had to solve the problem of wildlife migration and conduct educational outreach to the local population who had never seen trains, had no idea of their danger, and could provoke emergency situations themselves. In 2014, they completed and put into operation the first phase of the Etihad Rail project. The railway connected 2 branches with a total length of 264 kilometers, from a gas field in the western region of the Emirates of Abu Dhabi to the port in Ruwais, the point of sulfur export. The commercial operation of the first segment of the National Railway officially began on January 1, 2016. The UAE locomotive fleet initially consisted of 7 machines. However, the locomotive fleet has significantly expanded now. Etihad Rail has signed a contract with the American manufacturer Progress Rail for the supply of 38 locomotives, which will be additionally equipped with air purification filters and sand catchers. Sand traps are also used along the tracks. Approximately once a week, preventive clearing of the tracks from sand drifts is carried out. The company monitors the movement of sand dunes and promptly starts tackling the sand dunes that could block the tracks. Currently 2 trains, each 1,600 meters long and consisting of 110 covered wagons for the transportation of granulated sulfur, run on the railway daily. Each train carries up to 11,000 tons of cargo per trip. In other words, 2 trains transport 22,000 tons of sulfur. Such a railway freight train replaces 300 trucks with tank containers and tankers, reducing carbon dioxide emissions into the atmosphere by 70 to 80%. However, this was just the first part of the ambitious construction of the century and the initial stage of conquering the desert landscapes of the Middle East. In 2020, the second phase of the project was launched, with about $5 billion allocated for its financing. It includes the construction of a 605-kilometer railway line from Guayafat on the border with Saudi Arabia to Fujairah on the UAE's east coast. After optimizing the logistics of freight transportation, the construction of passenger railway lines will begin, which should connect the country's cities, as well as become a link between the states of the entire Middle East region. The first route of the second phase was laid out in early 2021, and in June 2021, the company announced the successful completion of the construction of the longest railway tunnel, with a length of 1.8 kilometers on one of the segments of the second phase. The tunnel runs through the rocky Hajar Mountains and was constructed using a closed mountainous tunneling method that avoids disrupting the surrounding rock. A total of 145 kilometers of railway tracks are to be built during this phase of the project. They will pass through 9 mountain tunnels with a combined length of 6.9 kilometers. It is reported that the speed of passenger trains will be 200 kilometers per hour, capable of transporting nearly 400 passengers. In addition, train passengers will have access to additional transportation options for a comfortable journey from their homes or offices to their final destinations. Public transportation, including trams and buses, will transport tourists to railway stations, and car rental services will also be available with parking facilities provided at the stations. It is noted that the new Etihad rail network will connect 11 cities and towns in the Emirates, serving millions of passengers. According to official information, passenger trains will offer various amenities, including phone charging, information and entertainment systems, food and beverages, comfortable seating, and much more. The management company will also have to build 54 bridges and 20 wildlife crossings. On September 29, 2021, Etihad Rail announced the completion of a 139-kilometer section of the main line, connecting the first railway branch to the city of Guayafat, which hosts the border crossing between the UAE and Saudi Arabia. The construction of the UAE's national railway is in full swing. According to preliminary estimates of experts, the Etihad Rail project will cost the Emirates at least $40 billion, and given its scale and ambitious plans, it could potentially reach $50 billion or more. Why does the United Arab Emirates need such an expensive project with rather uncertain prospects for passenger transportation? After all, almost all local residents use personal vehicles for commuting and tourists choose rental cars. Even the Dubai Metro doesn't see much demand for the same reason. What's the reality behind this? Is it a far-sighted economic strategy or political maneuvers? The government is confident about the huge prospects of the national railway. It is expected that by 2030, the railway infrastructure will increase the country's GDP by approximately $1 billion. This efficient transportation solution will reduce the volume of road transport, thereby reducing emissions and making a significant contribution to environmental protection. The railway will connect all 7 Emirates within the UAE and link the country with neighboring Persian Gulf states. It will also create favorable conditions for the further development of logistics, transportation, tourism, and infrastructure sectors, which are essential components of the country's economy and major sectors of the national business. And what do you think? Will the UAE remain as prosperous and favorable country after its oil reserves are completely depleted in 100 years? What alternative industries will form the basis of the country's economy, which is currently thriving on non-renewable natural resources? And also write in the comments, what do you think about the prospects for the development of the new railway of the United Arab Emirates? Goodbye.